right, boom. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Swaggy Vet Podcast. This is the Life After Boot segment. I'm your host, Big Pen. I got my co-host with me, my best friend, First Swaggy Vet. What's up, man?
What's going on, Pen? What's going on, Swaggy Vet, Solid friends and family? How y'all doing out there?
Man, we got an amazing guest today. I'm excited.
Sir.
We got an amazing guest. She just retired at the U.S. Army. She's an entrepreneur, motivational speaker. She motivates me when I see her.
Fit model.
Yep. And all around, and she's got pets. She's a pet mom too. So we're gonna bring to the stage.
Bring it to the stage.
Son first class retired. We can say that. DD14 gang. So, Latoya Green. Welcome, Latoya Green.
What's going on?
What's up?
How are you? I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Man, we blessed to have you on. Thank you for coming on.
I'm blessed to be here. Thank you.
All right. How's your day going?
My day is my first day retired. I feel absolutely amazing.
You wake up with a new bounce in your step, don't you?
Yeah, you know, the air tastes a little different when you walk outside. You're not rushing. This is a good feeling.
That's what I'm talking about. It feels good at first. It feels good.
It does.
All right, so now you're retired. So we gotta know, what motivated you initially or inspired you to enlist in the U.S. Army. We need to hear that.
Okay, so I came into the Army because I was running from a bad home situation. You know, I was out there in it wasn't the hood, but everyone around me was just getting pregnant or going to jail or getting in the grave. You see what I'm saying? And from a young age, I always knew that there was more to life. I knew I wanted to travel. I knew I was not a college person. And plus, I didn't want to get into debt. And so I just walked into the recruitment station. I was like, whichever one of y'all can get me out of here first, I'm gone. And of course, the Army was ready with open arms.
I know, because you enlisted, 2004?
I enlisted in June 9th, 2004. I graduated high school May 27th, 2004. So I was gone after high school.
Hey, and that was right around when deployment was hot and heavy. So they're like, hey, come on, we need
you. Absolutely.
Yeah. So boom, enlisted, graduated high school, enlisted right into the Army. But let's shift back a little bit. Can you tell us some memories? I know we were talking to you from West Palm Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Do you got any good memories from West Palm Beach?
Not really. Because I left West Palm Beach when I was 12. I mean, we used to skate on concrete. That's about and make up. I had a fire dance routine of Candy Rain by Soul For Real. It's like my love. Yeah. Do you ever dream of candy coated rain?
Oh man, I don't know if a lot of folks know about that.
They ain't ready for that. They ain't ready for that conversation.
Oh, okay. So boom, West Palm Beach, you moved. So I know you moved to Georgia after that. So, and then how did that kind of shape? Did any of that shape any part of you that wanted to go in the military? I know you just said you're trying to get away kind of like from a bad situation.
Yes, because so in Florida, West Palm Beach, we're more in Riviera Beach, we're more in the city a little bit. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we moved from the city to the country. I'm talking about where we were in a double wide trailer on a dirt road. So it was like, it got to be more to life than this. And I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't a school person or anything like that. So I was like, I have to do something because this is not it. And so I think the Army or the military in general is if you don't know what you're going to do after high school, just do it. Even if it's for a few years, just do it until you figure out what you want to do. So
that's some actual real good advice. Come in, and then when you get out, because companies get tax breaks. Y'all listen, companies get tax breaks for hiring veterans.
Yep.
So go in, get your little training, and figure out what you want to do and get out.
And go to school, do whatever you want to do, and not be in debt. Absolutely.
Use that GI Bill.
Absolutely.
All right, so Latoya, what was the experience like going to training at Fort Jackson?
Well, at first, going to Fort Jackson, first off, John, I want to say I love your shirt. Um, but going to I was scared because I didn't know what to expect. Um, but after that, it was easy. I skated. I skated. It was easy for me.
And what MOS was that when you first went in there into the military?
I went AIT to become a 92 Yankee, a unit supply specialist.
And how did that shape along in the military?
I mean, like I said, basic and AIT were easy for me. So it just helped me learn that there were more, like it helped me learn the logistics behind everything.
Mm-hmm. It seems like it's static.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every time I talk.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I chose the MOS 92 Yankee because I just wanted a desk job. Like you already said, sir, like we were already doing rapid deployments, and I knew I didn't want to be on the front lines. So I was like, whatever is a desk job, I don't care about a bonus. I just want something where I'm at a desk. And they was like, you want to do supply? I was like, okay. And that was it. And my GT score was low too, so I'm gonna put that out there. It is what it is. It's like a 94 or something.
Hey, listen, mine was low too. Hey, me and John actually went to the same fast class. We trying to raise our GT scores too, because we trying to go SF.
When you took the ASVAB, did you even plan on joining the military? Because I didn't plan on joining. I just took it just to take it.
Man, let me tell you, when I took the ASVAB, I hit C for every answer.
You see? Okay, so I was the only one.
I got a 32 when I first came in, just enough.
I passed my first ASVAB.
Yeah, I passed mine too. I hit C for every answer.
No,
exactly.
I failed my first.
Oh, you failed it?
Yeah, I think I went to the recruiter station.
When
I first took it.
All right, so within your military career, you've done a lot of things. What duty station do you think was the most challenging for you, and why?
Actually, crazy enough, I'm gonna think.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you love our content, and we hope you do, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. Let's go.
Actually, crazy enough, I'm gonna say Fort Cavazos or Fort Hood, formerly Fort Hood, and not because what people might think, is because of the things that I was doing while I was stationed here. So while I was stationed here, I was fighting for change, and then once I started doing that, that's when everybody started coming for me. So this was the most mentally challenging, not because of everybody that was here, but because of the attacks that I was getting because of what I was doing.
Yeah, when you got to go against the grain if you want to make a change. So hey, but guess what? We're going to talk about that. But you made a big change, and ultimately, it's going to help thousands and thousands of soldiers down the road. So hey, you made that sacrifice for them.
Absolutely,
and that's awesome. We applaud you for that.
Thank you.
So how was your experiences overseas, particularly like Germany and Korea? Did you like those? Did you not like them?
Man, I love Germany and Korea. And the crazy thing is I've went and I've asked people, I do like little polls on social media, and I ask them, hey, what was your favorite duty station? And most people will tell you overseas was their favorite duty stations. I love Germany. I loved Korea. Korea, I love the culture. And then Germany, I love that they party. They party. I love, man, because I was in my bag in Germany, but they have a great time. Like, you don't leave to go out until about 2 a.m. So, but it was, yeah.
Hey,
so I like
the only place. I was in Bamberg, so I wasn't too far. Using Baumholder, right?
Oh, yeah, yep.
So we used to go to Nuremberg a lot.
Yeah.
And,
downtown, the club called Downtown.
The One. We used to go to the One. There's a club called the One. I don't know if there's
okay.
But yeah, we went downtown too. But that's the only place I've ever been where you go in the club and you come out and the sun's out.
Exactly. Exactly. I had a ball.
I had so much fun in Germany. And And the thing was, because I was at Bragg for almost 12 years, and then they're like,
Mm.
yeah. And then they're like, I came down to orders for Europe, and I actively tried not to go. But my branch manager was like, nah, player, you've been here too long. You need to go. And I'm really glad that I had, they made me go because I had one of the best experiences in my military career was over there.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. What about Korea? What did you do in Korea?
So when I was in Korea, I was an inspector general. But when I
Oh,
tell
wow.
you, yeah. So
Nice.
yeah, so I didn't get to turn up like everybody else did, which is fine because I was older at this point. This was only like 3 years ago.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
yeah, I was older. I've had already been to Germany. So once you party in Germany, you never want to party anywhere else. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I loved Korean culture. Like they take care of their elders. And
Mm-hmm.
that's when Korea helped me get into hiking. So I love hiking now because of Korea. Because I mean, you'll see them old people pass you on that on that hike so fast. I'm sitting there out of breath, and there's like 80-year-old woman with her 2 sticks just going up. I'm like, okay, I have to do better. But I love the hiking, and I love the Korean culture. They're very family oriented, and they cook the best chicken. The Contrary to popular belief, Koreans cook the best chicken. And
Okay.
I'm a chicken
Okay.
connoisseur.
There you
Yeah, we
go.
do.
I always wanted to go to Korea. I actually went. I can't remember what it's called because I got out almost 5 years ago, but you can go in and you can see what's available to you and you can pick that particular duty station. What's it called now?
They call it a YMAV now.
Oh, why not? Okay.
Marketplace. Your marketplace.
Yeah, marketplace. Yeah, because I had that and I actually picked to go to Camp Humphreys, but they sent me to Fort Campbell instead.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, but I don't know why they did that. The Army does what they want to do.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
So Latoya,
Hey, John.
there are a lot of schools out there that kind of solidifies your career, right? I've been to some schools myself, but I've never been to drill sergeant school, right? So how was that for you as you was going through that academy?
Man, when I tell you, once I did drill sergeant, they could have kicked me out right then and there. That was the only thing I want to do in the Army. I love the drill sergeant academy because what they do is they make you feel what the soldiers feel. So when you come in, they're yelling at you as a candidate. And remember, you've been in the Army for years already. So you come in, they're yelling at you, and it just teaches you what those civilians are feeling when they come in. And I think it helps shape you as a drill sergeant.
Mm. I
Yeah.
think it helps you, yeah, to be able to feel that can help shape them as well. Right?
Exactly, because you understand exactly where they come from.
That's a great lesson to take from that.
Absolutely, that's what I took from it. I don't know what nobody else took from it, but that's what I took. Like, hey, if I felt this way when somebody yelling at me, then what's the point of me yelling at somebody else, making them feel the same way when I could just talk, I could just teach. You don't have to yell to teach.
That's right. I totally agree.
That's
Is
like
there
the
some other
epitome of
is there some other lessons that you took out of drill sergeant? Being a drill sergeant?
Oh, being a drill sergeant, man, embrace different types of leadership because you're with your peers. So if you just with like me, I think my leadership is impeccable, right? So just in typical human in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm right. Everybody else is like wrong. Like, why don't you call cadences? Why aren't you happy? But I had a 11 Bravo drill sergeant A, never smiled. He said, I don't do that cheerleading. You got that. And he told me just like that. I always had a big little water dip in his mouth, but the soldiers loved him, and he was the best teacher I've ever known. Like the best teacher. If I always tell people, I tell people all the time, if you want to learn something, talk to the 11 Bravo because they can teach. And he taught me, and that's the biggest thing is just because your leadership is one way, it doesn't mean it's the only way. And that's what I liked about it. And then I learned so much about different people from different backgrounds because every cycle I knew every one of my soldiers by day 3. I knew all of their names because I wanted to treat them as people. And then I learned about their background. And that teaches them. So once you're done being a drill sergeant, you see leaders, you're like, oh, you remind me of Private so-and-so. You remind me of Private so-and-so. And you just remember how you had to deal with that person. So yeah, I learned people skills and I learned to embrace different types of leadership.
Do you think being on the trail, like you said, you get to encounter different leadership styles? Did that help you broaden your leadership ability? Like, okay, I like the way they do this. I'm gonna kind of adopt that.
Absolutely. I took a lot of, you put in your little toolkit. So I took a
Mm,
lot of different things from a lot of different leaders, whether it was good, whether it was bad. It just helped me kind of sharpen my own sword. Iron sharpens iron. So just learning that, hey, you can do that another way, because you might think that you're motivating, but it might come off as you're attacking people. Or it helped me understand that I need to have friends who are different from me, because if everybody is like me, then there's no way that I'm growing. So I had to
mm-hmm.
find those friends who go hunting. I had to find those friends who do all these other things, because if you do everything that I do, then how am I learning and how am I becoming a better person? And so that's what helped me get my circle of people around me that are different from me. And that's why I feel like I'm an all around person now.
Yeah, over the years, I've had some outstanding leadership, and then I've had some, to put it frankly, not so outstanding leadership. So I kind of tried to take the good from the bad and adopt it, implement it on how I was a leader, and it definitely helped shape me as a leader. So I could definitely relate to what you're talking about. So you have a really big social media following, right?
Okay.
So what you have this really cool thing that you do, Motivational Mondays, right? What kind of brought that on? How'd you come up with that?
I came up with Motivational Monday because everybody that I talked to when I was a drill sergeant, everybody who was a drill sergeant act like they hated life. They act like it was the horrible thing. They complained about the hours. And I'm one of those people, if everybody goes left, I'm going to go right. So I'm going to make drill sergeant seem like the most fun thing. I'm going to get up here and say, hey, I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. So hey, what are you guys up to? What are you doing? This is, I'm just trying to motivate people, because you'd be surprised at what people are going through that they never talk about. And what I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to do is, just because, yes, I'm a drill sergeant, but I'm still a non-commissioned officer at the end of the day, and I'm still, to whom much is given, much is required. So I still want to motivate and encourage people, because that my hours are sucking. So if I can get up earlier to go to the gym, you have no reason why you're not showing up to PT at 0630. And it's basically just kind of coming up with a no excuse kind of mentality. But I came with it because everybody who was a drill sergeant seemed like they hated life, and I just wanted to show the good side of being a drill sergeant.
That's awesome. Got to embrace the suck.
Absolutely. It don't have
Give,
to suck. It's all about your mindset.
absolutely. Give it a big old hug.
Exactly.
Um, so, can you tell us about the journey and the impact of your petition to change the Army's BMI determination? Because you had a big role. I think we just kind of talked about it, the changes you made. So, tell us about that journey.
Yes, sir. So what had happened was I was doing so there was one point in the Army, I don't know if you were in, but I think you should have been in at this point, where they were allowing females into combat MOS, and they were just coming up with ACFT, and it was
Yep.
based off of your MOS. It wasn't based off of gender MOS. So if you're a female 11 Bravo, guess what? You have to do what 11 Bravo does, regardless of gender. It was gender neutral. And
Yep.
there was a young soldier. She couldn't get the deadlift. She was a 13 Bravo, a combat engineer, and she couldn't get the deadlift. So she started coming to the gym with me at 4 o'clock in the morning. We were training, and then she took the ACFT and she passed, but then
Nice.
she failed tape.
Oh.
And she's 19 years old. And so she came to me, she was crying. First, she was like, I passed my test. I'm like, ah! And she was like, yeah, but I failed tape. Now, remember, at this point, the ACFT was just coming about. So you could fail as many diagnostics ACFTs as you want, but you still had to pass tape. So it's
Okay.
like, either I passed the ACFT or I failed tape. And I'm like, man, and she's 19. And I was like, and at this point, I'm like, I can have a daughter that's 19 years old. I understand that I have an eating disorder. I understand the bad relationship that I have with food, and we're changing uniforms, we're changing everything else. Why is this? Why are we still going through this? And I've heard people complain about it for years, and nobody did anything. Everybody doing white papers. So I was in a council of people. It was a whole bunch of sergeant majors. I was the lowest ranking person in the room. And I asked the question like, hey, are you allowed to do a petition in the Army? Because I'm like, I see it, but I'm like, nobody's doing anything. And they were like, yeah, you can, but you don't want to do that. And I'm like, okay. So my mind, I'm like, just because you couldn't do it, it doesn't mean I can't do it. I asked, is it in regulation? Like, could I get in trouble for doing it? So I was like, okay, I can't get in trouble. I looked it up, I read about it, and I said to one of my friends, I said, you know what? Once I do this, I can't go back and I'll never get promoted again. And that is a sacrifice I'm willing to take. And so I started a petition. I put my face on it and I told my story. And I never said it was about females. I never said it was about African Americans. I never said anything. I said this is an Army issue because it has been. I've known some high-speed Samoan soldiers. I've known some big, Caucasian guys. I've known some people that just curvy. So I started a petition and it spread like wildfire. And, I was reading the comments on change.org and I was watching it and I was like, okay, this is good. This is good. But, once your name is out there and your face is out there, you have to be prepared for the backlash that comes with that. But my thing is we can all talk about a problem. It takes a different type of person to be a part of the solution. We can all talk. Everybody can say something that's wrong, but what are you going to do about it? And are you willing to fall on your sword for that? Because you have to have a purpose. I was like, but this is my purpose. This is what I want to do. And I said that I will retire once the Army changes this. And that's what it was. And they came out with a Frago. Once they came out with a Frago, they said that they were going to do the steady at Fort Bragg, now Fort Liberty. I was going to PCS to Korea. I just got on IG orders and they was going to PCS me to Korea. But by the time they were doing the steady, I was going to be on PCS leave. So I spent my PCS leave at Fort Bragg because I wanted to be a part of the steady. But I had all kind of people coming at me saying like, oh, you can't do that. It's only for soldiers at Fort Bragg. And I'm like, a soldier is a soldier. It doesn't matter where they come from. And but
what's the difference?
Exactly. But that's what it was. A lot of sergeant majors coming for me. That's what I was getting. I was getting attacked from a lot of sergeant majors and like being called a disgrace and all these other things. But the good thing for me, I had a brigade sergeant major, Shade Monday. He was my regimental because I was in 3CR. He was my regimental sergeant major. He saw me on staff duty. He said, Sergeant Greene, what are you doing? I said, this is what I did, sergeant major. He said, what is your goal? I said, my goal is to change it. He said, well, good luck. Thank you. That's it. And so once I spent my PCS leave at Fort Bragg, nobody at 18th Airborne Corps. That's what it is, right? 18th Airborne Corps. Yeah. They had published a Frago. They had published a op order, but then they had taken it away. And so nobody knew that the steady was happening. So when I went to the steady, and I went to the steady the same day as Sergeant Major of the Army retired Greene, because I had reached out to him. When I first did a petition, I reached out to him via Instagram and I said, Sergeant Major of the Army, my name is Sergeant First Class Greene. This is what I did. This is why I did it. Because I don't want you to misinterpret what I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? Because people will try to paint a narrative of you like, oh, well, she hates the Army and all this. No, I'm doing this for soldiers. You say you want NCOs to have a backbone. You want them to stand up for soldiers. That's what I'm doing. This has nothing to do with me. I'm going to retire. But this is for those coming after me. I don't benefit anything. So I told him, he said, I respect what you're doing. Once he DM'd me and told me that, I don't care what anybody else had to say. He respects me. So when all these sergeant majors are telling me that, hey, you can't show up to this steady, I DM'd him again. Sergeant Major of the Army, am I allowed to be a part of this steady? He says, for anybody. He said, I'll be there Tuesday. You can come in with me. And I came in on that same Tuesday and we walked in together and we got taped together and we went through the entire study together. And so that's when I got on Facebook and I started yelling at everybody at Fort Bragg. I'm like, why y'all not out here? This is volunteer only, because it's volunteer only. So people were sending soldiers down there to participate in the study, but soldiers could say, I don't want to do it. Because they can't force you to go through this body scanner and all this. They can't force you to do that. But nobody told them that. And so that's when 18th Airborne came around, DM'd me, said, hey, can you then they posted it. And then they said, can you just share what we post? I'm like, baby, I don't care about credit. So I'll share whatever y'all post. But y'all should have done this already so that way people will know about it. So when they did the town hall, they was talking about, oh, we want to thank 18th Airborne Corps. No, everybody in that everybody that was a part of that study were calling me, hey, these are the demographics that we need tomorrow. I was using my social media platform while I was sitting at Fort Bragg on my PCS leave to say, hey, tomorrow we need Asians, we need Hispanics, we need National Guard, we need Reserve. If you're here, these are the demographics that we need. And every time I was sitting right there at the study, making sure that people were coming in. Hey, what demographic do y'all need the next day? And when they did the second study at Fort Lee, I was in Korea. I did the same thing using my platforms. And that's when they were emailing me saying, hey, I don't know who you are, but thank you. And so that's why when I saw this, and these are the people that were in charge of the study. But of course, they're not going to give me credit for anything, which is fine. I don't care about credit as long as it changed. When your intentions are pure, you don't care about credit. But at the end of the day, facts are facts. So once it actually got done, and then they came out and it changed, I'm like, oh, everybody's like, oh, thank you, something. No. Keep the same energy that you had when I talked about it, because I'm telling you, I fought this for 3 years straight. 3 years straight, I was getting talked to like I was a piece of crap. 3 years straight, no matter how impeccable my records were, I knew for a fact that I was too out there. My name was too out there. I went against the grain, and you don't do that. You shut up and you color. You shut up and you army. But at the same time, I had to think about what would Private Greene need? You know what I mean? Like, how does that look if you sitting here and you doing the same exact thing 20 years later? You can't say that you love something and you don't try to make it better. And I said I love the Army, so my thing was to leave it better than I found it. And that's what I did.
Man, that's awesome. And now, because of your sacrifice, a lot of soldiers down the road can benefit you making that sacrifice for the Army. That's amazing. And we definitely applaud you for that. And thank you for your sacrifice and your service. So that's amazing.
Absolutely. There's nothing. I did what I was supposed to do.
There you go. Hey, that's the epitome of the backbone of the Army right there.
Period. You stand up. You got to stand on business. You will always go. It ain't about no accolades. You the backbone.
Yep, backbone.
But speaking of backbone, how'd your backbone get into powerlifting?
So, I got into powerlifting because I had body dysmorphia really bad. Because of the taping, because the fact I was ashamed of being curvy, I was ashamed of all that stuff. And so I didn't know that I was strong. And so I used to watch people like Serena Williams, and they would call her manly. They would call her all this stuff like, man, and she's freaking the GOAT. Like she's a beast. And I'm like, so you can be a beast and you can still be thick. And I was like, okay. And then I realized that I was strong, and that's how I started to get into it. It was the body dysmorphia. So I'm like, well, if I'm gonna be fat, I'm gonna be fat and strong. You see what I'm saying? I'm a lot bigger now, but at that point I wasn't even big. I was like 170, but they were saying that I was, the Army made me feel like I was fat. And so that's when I started working out, and I said, well, if I'm gonna be big, I'm not gonna be lazy. And I got into powerlifting. I've never lost.
Hey, I saw on Toya's social media, he got up under that 225 and was doing it like it was nothing. I said, good Lord. Hey, some dudes would be like, dang.
Right. So tell us about the time that you won the strongest woman at Fort Hood.
Okay. So Fort Hood had a strong woman competition in 2021. I did not want to do that because I'm not a strong woman competitor. I'm more of a powerlifter competitor, bench, deadlift, squat. But I was the S4 NCOIC, and I had a lieutenant, and she had unalived herself that a couple of weeks before that happened. But she told me that she was going to train me to do that, and she kept telling me that I should do it, and so I did it for her. I did it in memory of her, because she told me that I could do it. I didn't think I could do it, but she told me I could, and I knew that that her spirit was going to be with me when I did it, and I wanted to honor her. And if you look at those pictures, I had a shirt with her picture on it because she was just an amazing person, and she really believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself, and she was right. So thank you, Lieutenant Mitchell.
Latoya, you've done a lot of things in the military. You have so many awards, right? So among all the awards and decorations, what do you think most signifies you and why?
Oh, the award that most signifies me. I just got it. Hold on. I just got the best award that I could get. It's this. I got this. I
Hey,
got this for my retirement. It's my GOAT wrestling belt. Because they say I dress like
hey,
a wrestler anyway. But this is but
man,
this is my
that's
favorite. It
gotta be
says,
that's gotta be one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
oh yeah. It says Sergeant First Class Latoya Green, 2004 to 2024, U.S. Army retired. My best friend, Janina B. Simmons, got that for me for my
As
retirement. That's my favorite one. That's the one that describes me the most.
It looks
The
like it's
GOAT
y'all
calling me
picture.
the
salute
GOAT.
to her for doing
It
that.
looks like y'all picture right down the side.
Yeah. You see it? It's got some details. Oh, that's
Oh,
us right
that's
there.
awesome.
And
That's
that's us
amazing.
right there. Yeah, she did that.
Hey,
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah. So that's the one that describes me the most.
okay. Well, can you
Well,
share any memorable stories about accomplishments that led to one of your awards? Well, we just talked about that. Obviously, it's retiring.
right. But so I did receive the Champions Award at the 2024 Hall of Fame induction. So I was inducted
Oh,
into the yeah. So I was inducted into the Army Women's Hall of Fame in March, and I think that's also significant to me because what I did, I wasn't doing it for accolades. Miss Natasha Hines, who I don't know, I never met. I didn't even know the Army had a Women's Hall of Fame, but
okay.
she wrote it up and she put me in for it. And it hits different when you weren't looking for any kind of recognition and you get recognized. We NCOs, you get taught to just you did your job, keep moving. You don't get an
Yep.
award for that. Keep doing what you did what you're supposed to do. Good job. Get back to work. And
Mhm.
so for her to put me in for that award and for me to actually get inducted, it was amazing. It was so rewarding. And I love that. I really appreciate that.
What because I was reading over your awards. What was the one you got in Germany? You do I can't remember. It was so long ago.
The
The
shoots and
shoot.
snare and the gappy.
How'd you like that? That whole process.
I liked it because I was actually in Germany doing it. So it
Yeah.
wasn't like it was here. How they make it American, but I was actually in German. I actually was able to shoot the German weapons and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I enjoyed going through that process. And I was in Germany, so I want to respect their culture. And I love the fact that how the Germans and Americans kind of work together
Mhm.
to achieve that award. I loved it.
Okay.
All right. So I know you only been out a day, your first day out, but have you been thinking some plans or aspirations after the boots?
I don't know what I want to do yet. I don't know what I want to do. There's a couple of things that I'm thinking about, but whatever I do, I want it to be my purpose. I don't want to just do stuff for money. I don't want to be one of the people that get out and say, "Oh, I got to make 100,000 a year" and stuff like that. I'd rather be happy. Whatever I do, I want to get out and have fun doing what I do. I don't want it to feel like work. So even if it's just going around creating content with soldiers, or a unit calling me up and say, "Hey, we doing this. Would you come out here and create content and show everybody on your," because my page is full of veterans and people that's in the Army. I love to show good stuff that people in the Army are doing. So even if it's something like that, I would love to do something like that because that's not work to me. I do it for free. So whatever it is, whatever I choose to do, it's going to be something that I want to do. It definitely won't be for money.
Right.
So I don't know.
And I know along those lines, you still want to try to impact some soldiers and still trying to
I'm,
stay inspiring to those guys.
yeah, I'm always going to advocate. I'm always going to advocate for soldiers. That's why they call me the Army Auntie. That's my nickname, the Army Auntie.
I
And
like
that's my favorite title. That's the favorite title I have because auntie is your mom when your mom isn't there. That means that they trust me to take care of them, and speak on their behalf because they're away from home. So that's why I'm such a big advocate, and that's why I'm never gonna stop doing that, regardless of who get mad.
Yeah, I know it's I know you've only been out a day, but I I should have took a knee and faced out for a little while, but I didn't. I went right to work and I
Uh-huh.
did it for money, which I shouldn't did. And now my brother John, we've kind of come together in doing this podcast, and our whole Swaggy Vet endeavor has helped me feel like I have a purpose now. So it's definitely given me a better outlook on everything and a better outlook on life, really. Because I was like droning around, not knowing what I want to do when I grow up after I got out.
Exactly. And the last thing you want to do is sit there and take orders from people. You've been doing that for 20 years. Like, I'm good. I'm good, man. Like, what you mad for? You come into work mad every day.
And for myself, I probably took like 4 years off just to plan Swaggy Vets.
He did.
And you did a great job. You did a great job.
Oh, the best is yet to come. Power up.
Absolutely.
So, what advice would you give women that are wanting to come into the military, since you're a big advocate and you've changed a lot of stuff to help pave the way for future women coming in the military?
What I would tell women is to understand that you're a soldier. You know, like you're a soldier. We get it. You can, like, you have to be able to pull your weight. Don't try to use things to avoid accountability. If you mess up, you messed up. But don't go in places and look for problems. Like, okay, I'm gonna put myself on this island, and now I'm gonna say that everybody hates women. You can't say that, because you put yourself on that island. Don't get mad if you put yourself on that island and people leave you there, because it's nobody's job to kiss up to you. Either, if you need help, ask people for help, but you also gonna have to pull your weight. And that just is what it is. It's not a just understand. Don't go into anything with an inferior mindset. Your attitude determines your altitude. So if you go in and you say, "Hey guys, I need help with this," I've never been to a place where you ask somebody for help and they don't help you. Never. And not in 20 years that I see a female or anybody ask for help and somebody's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna help you." So if you don't know something, ask for help, but don't automatically assume that people don't like you, especially if you come into a place with an inferior mindset and you put yourself on the island. You don't have anything to prove. You don't have to be the strongest. You don't have to be the fastest. You do your job and you run your race. And I promise you, that's enough for everybody.
Man, that's actually a good quote. Your attitude determines your altitude. Man, I like that. Hey, y'all, write that down. I like that, man. That's an
Message.
amazing quote. I'm gonna use that in my everyday life too. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, you're right. If you go in somewhere, you just got a bad attitude. One, it's gonna bring down the mood of everybody,
Exactly.
and two, people are gonna look at you a certain way, and unfortunately, people already have a predetermined thought process of how they view you, and if you
Right.
come in with a bad attitude, that's just gonna sour it even more. So
Exactly.
having that's such a good quote. Having a good attitude, coming there positively, like the motivational Mondays, coming in there positive, and it just brings down the temperature and makes everybody feel at ease.
And you got to understand, you're not special. You
Yeah.
ain't everybody in that sucking. Like, you don't get special treatment just because you're a female. Like, it's one of those things. Like, be a part of the team. Yeah, if you're gonna be a part of the team, be a part of the team. Don't look for ways to bring the team down.
100%. Absolutely.
That's it.
Speaking of that, you got your own team.
I do.
It's three of them.
Absolutely. Dream team.
Your
Dream
kids.
team.
Your
My
kids.
children. Yes.
Hey, can you tell us how they came apart to be part of the family?
Yes. So my oldest baby is my Connie Corso. His name is Purpose Lamont Greene. And I got him because he was my retirement dog. So I was in Korea and I said, well, I have this big house and I live alone and I need a dog. And I need a dog with a purpose. Like, so I said, I got to get a Connie Corso because those are the family oriented, loyal, and you don't have to do anything. They're going to do what they're going to do when it comes to protecting the home. And so that's how I ended up getting Purpose. And then I ended up getting Damonte because I had went through a trivial time in a unit here. And my therapist gave me Damonte. That's my cat. So Damonte Isaiah Green. And I started doing I started, instead of me focusing on things that I was going through in the Army, I started focusing on making a cat and what most people see as an aggressive breed and a little bitty tabby cat. And I started focusing on making them get along. And it just showed me that if animals can get it, why can't humans? They are two totally different animals. One is deemed as aggressive. One is deemed as, the cute little kitten, but they can still get along. And then I got Jay Sean. I just wanted another dog because Purpose needs somebody to play with. Purpose needed somebody to play with because Damonte is a cat, so he's temperamental. He can play when he feels like playing. So I got Jay Sean as a puppy, so that way Purpose can kind of mold him. Which Purpose is a horrible big brother because he has bad habits anyway. But I got Jay Sean, so that way, so that way Purpose will have somebody to play with, and I don't have to worry about taking him to a dog park and stuff like that. Because every time he goes to a dog park to try to play, people treat him like he's aggressive when he's not. He's playing like everybody else. So I'd rather just let him play in the backyard with his little brother.
That's good. So they help you? Have your pets help you mentally and personally?
Oh, well, because I'm a single soldier, or I'm a single person with no kids. So it helps me to kind of take care of somebody and be needed and things of that nature. Because if, like, imagine me retired and coming into a big old house and it's just me, you know what I mean? But to have them, see them running around and make videos and content with them, and knowing that they making America smile, and well, actually they making the world smile because they've been featured on the animal pages like the Dodo several times.
Wow.
So yeah. So just knowing that they're making people smile, and just it gives me something else to focus on besides trying to be sad or depressed. All of them are emotional support in some kind of way, even if it's just with laughter.
Now, whenever you have to get on to them, do you say their whole name and they know they're in trouble?
Absolutely, especially Damonte Isaiah Greene, especially Damonte Isaiah. But yeah, when I get mad, I talk to them like they are human. That they are human kids. I sure do.
They know when he's in trouble. You say his whole name.
Exactly. They are in an African American household. They're gonna get the business every time.
That's when I knew I was in trouble. My Aunt Kitty, if I'll do something or say something I wasn't supposed to, she's like, Bradley Von Pennington. I'll be like, I'm in trouble now. In trouble now.
Exactly.
All right. So how did Purpose, Damonte, and Jay Sean become part of your family? Did you? Oh, you already told that story. Kind of. They were just kind of.
Right. So what's a typical day with them?
Yeah.
A typical day. Well, all I do in this house is pay the bills. I work for everybody here, so I am like. So I come in. Well, we get up early in the morning. I let them out. Damonte will usually jump on the table because he's ready to eat. If not, he's already yelling at me. Purpose and Jay Sean, they'll go outside. They'll come back in. So they get paid when they go outside and go potty and come back in. So they come back in. They usually get a snack when they come back in. So they come back in, and I don't know what it is about them. So I buy all these toys. I spend about $100 and $130 on treats a week. But they get these toys, and then they take them outside. So my backyard is a mess because it's like a graveyard of all the toys that I bought for them. And then after that, they just sleep. They sleep, and then they play, and then sometimes I'll aggravate them, and then they sleep and they play, and they get on my nerves, and they shred something, or a shoe might get bit up, and it's just a lot of yelling. It's like having regular kids, just getting on your nerves.
And since you're out of the military, they're gonna share a lot of they're gonna share a lot of your time with your social media.
Oh yes, and I love that. I mean, that's what makes me happy, because what I love about animal content is it's not controversial. It makes people smile. It's happy. You don't have to worry about people getting in the comments and trolling and stuff like that. It can just be making people smile and things of that nature. That's why I love. I do all kind of content, but I love my animal content the most because I know it makes people happy. People love animals. People will speak to my animal and won't even speak to me. That's crazy, but it's true.
Mm-hmm. All right. Have you trained Purpose, Damonte?
Trained. I can't hear you. Did you go out?
To me?
John, what you said? You said, did I train Purpose, Damonte, and Jay Sean?
Yeah. Have you trained them to do any type of specific tricks or anything that they known for doing when you say something, or they particularly like to do something?
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. My animals are not trained. They bad. Like I have the bad kids that you don't want your kids to hang around because they ain't got no discipline. My kids ain't got no discipline. They feel like, no, don't go
Right.
over there because you're gonna start acting like that. But they don't go anywhere. So they're always at home. And every once in a while I'll get them to sit. But they won't go out into the road or run out into the street or anything like that. But yeah, as far as like training, like Purpose was trained at one point. I don't know. I think he just quit. And because I thought that because he was trained, he was gonna help me train Jay Sean, but that he started acting like Jay Sean. So no, they haven't been trained to do anything. But I got time now to train them and teach them stuff. But other than that, no, they're not trained.
But
They
I can
just
see
spoiled.
some of your content. They go out you with you. They go out with you to exercise and training. You try to teach them some things out there on some of your content.
Oh yes, yes, yes. So I take the Purpose will run with me, but he'll only run so far. And now I'm trying to get Jay Sean to start running, but Jay Sean isn't chasing me; he's chasing Purpose. So he's gonna do whatever Purpose does. Like he doesn't care about me; he's gonna go with his big brother. And so, but I usually try to do that in the middle of the day when everybody's at work. So that way, it's just good and it's funny and it gets them out and it gets them active and things like that. Because I usually put Damonte in a stroller and then take Purpose for a walk. But I have to get Purpose and Jay Sean used to walking together on a leash. Yeah, that's gonna be
Mm.
fun. But Damonte got a stroller though, so he'd be fine.
Yeah, I see a lot of your content. They in a stroller, and then you'll like do some sprints, pushing them. So
Oh
they do,
yeah, yes,
do they
yes.
find that fun?
Damonte does. He used to. I don't know what he has going on right now because he doesn't like to be in his stroller anymore. Even when I take the stroller apart and put it in the car, so none of them like riding in the car. None of them.
Really?
So yes, because I usually take them with me when I do my self-care weekends, and I find a hotel in Dallas that's pet friendly, and you can have as many pets as you want. I haven't taken Jay Sean yet, but I used to take Purpose and Damonte, and Damonte will just screaming the whole way. Purpose will be fine after the first 5 minutes, but I don't know. Something's going on. Yeah.
Is it so? What kind of advice would you give some other vet or individuals in the military of getting a pet? Because I know like going away, housing them when you go away can be a problem, or you just find some what am I looking to say? Difficulties, having a military life. What kind of advice would you give some people?
I would tell people if you want a pet, like you have to look at if I was going to get a pet and I was still like, knee deep in the army, I would look at the training calendar. And if
Oh,
you're going to be in the field and you're going to be gone to Korea and all that stuff more than you're going to be home, then there's no point in getting one because the last thing you want is for that cat, that dog or your pet to be learning all kind of different things other than what it is that you want them to do. So if you know you're going to be gone more than you're going to be home, then don't get one. But if you know like you're getting ready to retire and the unit isn't going anywhere, and yes, it's the best thing ever. It's the best thing ever. Nothing beats a pet. Nothing.
do you have any? And you don't have to say brands or anything. Do you have any specific things you use? Like okay, I need to use this to make their coat shine, or I need this to make sure the breasts don't stink bad. Do you have any routines that you got for that?
No, actually, they do really good. So the food that I feed them is like it has the dental stuff in it and everything. It's $120 a bag. But
Oh,
yes, yeah, but
oh,
it does everything. So that's what it keeps Purpose's coat shiny and it keeps them healthy. It's all inclusive with everything, all the vitamins and nutrients and all that stuff. So no, I don't have to do anything extra for that. It works out for me, thank God, because I'm broke.
yeah. I got a pit and I got a Rottweiler, and my Rottweiler, she is like allergic to so much stuff. So we have to really watch what we give her to eat. And I don't know, she gets ear infections really easy, so we gotta keep medicine. And our pit, he just eats everything. He don't care. He don't care. He just
No.
eats everything, and he doesn't have any problems. So he's a real easy dog to take care of. And then we have a
Oh,
little Yorkie too. So
oh,
our
you got
Yorkie,
three.
yeah, got
They
three
all
dogs.
get along?
They all get along good, but the Yorkie tries to be the dominant one.
Of course.
He's a little boy, but we named him Tank.
A Yorkie named Tank. That's funny.
Yeah, so he tries to run around, running the house, and our pit, his name's Apollo, and Apollo, they'll go at it a little bit, but yeah, it's just funny seeing him trying to be the dominant one.
I love it.
Yeah.
So what future projects do you have coming up with in social media campaigns, or using your media platform with your kids?
So what I hope to do with my social media platform is I want to start doing a lot more veteran content, especially as I learn and go through the veteran process, like things that people might not have known, especially about here in Texas with the like how veterans can, if you're a veteran and you did like serve one day, if you live in Texas for one day, you can get a loan for land, and there's all kind of things out there. So what I hope to do is to start doing interviews with a lot of veteran owned organizations, and then kind of putting them on, so that way everybody can understand, hey, you're a veteran, you're in Texas, this is what you can do. These are the opportunities. So like I said before, I believe that to whom much is given, much is required. So as a soldier, I use my platform to advocate for soldiers. Now, as a veteran, I want to use my platforms to advocate for veterans and still soldiers. And you know what I'm saying? Just kind of help people. It's not, my platforms are not about me. It's always about helping somebody else. Like it's never about, I hate when I have to post myself too much. I rather post my animals, or say giving people information that they didn't know about. Because if I have the platform to use it, why not? Why not? We're supposed to help each other. We got to stick together. Like it's a small part. It seems like it's a lot of us, but it's really not. So we have to help each other out.
Right. And because of your platform, you've been invited out to several places to conduct speeches or motivational talks with soldiers. Can you tell us about that? How they got started?
So I have been, even as a soldier, I've been invited places like just this year alone. I went to California. I've been to Germany again, just to go speak. I was in Germany for a week just to go speak. And other places. I've been invited to some colleges and things of that nature, ROTC. But it's because my Motivational Mondays, or when I do my workout videos, what I'm talking about, or like on Sundays when I share a piece of my story with people. It's just so people see me and they understand, like people see me and they feel like they know me, like that. But that's just how transparent I am, because I don't want to sit here and be fake. And I think that in the world of social media, where everybody's so comfortable with being fake and doing the filters and all this other stuff, you see me and I'm always sweating. Edges ain't never did. I don't want no jewelry. This is the most jewelry you're gonna get. I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not. No surgery or anything like that. And I'm just 100% authentic, and I'm confident. And what I want to do with that is just push that to other people, especially young women who feel like they have to go out and get surgery and have a 10-inch waist and a 45-inch caboose or whatever. Just showing them, hey, you can be okay with being comfortable with who you are. So I want to continue to use my platform to make people smile, advocate for soldiers, advocate for veterans, and help people to accept who they are, but make themselves better at the same time.
What are one of your most memorable speeches?
What are you talking about? I think my most memorable one was the one at Fort Irwin. We were talking about, because I always start off with sharing my story about how I was a dirtbag soldier and whatever. I was not a good soldier. I was not a good soldier at all. But that's why I tell people.
Women's Hall of Famer.
Yes, and that's what I said. But back in the day, we was deploying so much, they didn't know how to do paperwork. You just, hey, we need a body. We don't care about you getting kicked out. We need you to go down range. You know what I mean? And so it's the fact that a lot of soldiers, they don't get chances. You know, they do one thing and then you kick them out. That could be another person that could be in the Hall of Fame if somebody just take a chance on them. But a lot of people don't do that. But to your question, John, my most memorable speech is just telling in Fort Irwin this past April, just telling my story and just seeing how it resonated with people. And, you know, usually after that, I take pictures with everybody and, you know, you get people coming up to you and crying. But that's how because you never be, a lot of people, you're never well respected in your hometown. But when you go somewhere else, people really, really appreciate you. So just seeing those soldiers, seeing how much they care and how much just seeing my social media impacts them, it's amazing because I don't feel like I'm doing anything special, but I'm special to somebody else. And I love that. I love that.
Ever spoke to any kids?
Oh, yes, I did. So, okay, so that's my memorable one too. I went to, let me tell you, I went to speak to some sixth graders.
Oh
And
wow.
I had to, yeah, so it was sixth, seventh, and eighth graders, and it was the month of the military child. I have never been scared to speak in my entire life. I was scared to go in front of, because you know, kids gonna tell you.
Oh, kids
Kids
gonna
gonna tell
tell.
you the truth. They're gonna tell you the truth.
Kids
But
gonna
what
tell.
helped me out is because I'm on TikTok. So I see a lot of the TikTok dancers. I know how they, you know, I know the things that they do. So I had to, so my motivator was like doing these little things. And I was like, what's up, G Way? And they was like, in the cut with my twin. And it was just, I was like, yes, I'm in there. It worked for the sixth graders. It worked for the seventh graders. It didn't work too much for the eighth graders, but but we did a push-up competition. And so I was able to win them over that way. But yeah, that's my most memorable one this year.
Really? Why the eighth graders give you some pushback? What was wrong with them?
Because you know they're not into the little kitty stuff. But when they started, I could really do push-ups. Like, and I was, you know, I had to go against the kids on the football team, and so
Ah,
you have me out there doing push-ups against the football team, and so that
mhm.
was that helped. And then we also had a dance contest. So yeah, I was able, I was still able to sneak back in there, but at the initial one they weren't going for it. So I was like, had to find another way, but it worked.
Hmm. All right. So how do you? So you know, I know you also got a lot of platforms, right? And I know you made a lot of influence through social media. So I know you got some insight or some type of opinion that you think that the army can use. How do you think the army can best use social media to influence its troops?
So the Army can use social media to influence their troops when they start understanding that influence does not have a rank. You have a specialist that have 2 million followers on TikTok, you know, and followers on all kind of social media. So if the Army started using people's talent and not being jealous of their talent, of those soldiers' talent, they'll be fine. Influence does not have a rank. And then you also have to understand, if you might not like it, but are they effective? So you don't like that Sergeant First Class retired Greene gets on her platform and talks directly. But who responds to Sergeant Greene? People who are from where Sergeant Greene is from.
Mhm.
Who responds to somebody that's a streamer? I don't play video games, but you know what? There are a lot of soldiers that play video games. So if you make one of those soldiers who do video games, a content creator, they can speak to people. You have people who play music. You have, like, if you use the talent that you already have, you don't have to worry about those things, but you have to allow people to do it their way and stop trying to micromanage it, because just because you might not understand it, it doesn't mean that somebody out there doesn't. Influence does not have a rank. And just because you don't like it, it doesn't mean it's not effective for somebody.
I think probably a lot of leaders that don't like it really don't understand it, so it kind of it's intimidating for them.
They
So
don't want to understand it.
yeah, they don't want to understand it. I mean, and as leaders, we must evolve. You know, you can't think a certain way all the time. You must evolve your leadership because look, leadership back in the '90s ain't gonna work even in the 2000s.
Exactly.
So people have to constantly evolve, and a lot of people don't get that. So it's like, oh, it's what they call them, dinosaurs. Like dinosaurs.
Exactly. I call them static displays. But but my thing is, if you don't like social media, but you have a Sergeant First Class Greene in your formation, hey, Sergeant Greene, this is what I need you to put out. But
Mm-hmm.
what happens is we want to lead with ego. You know, we want to lead with ego. Like, okay, No, I'm not going to use a song, have a song first class, but why not? If she has the platform to put it out and make sure that it gets down to the lowest level, then use her, because you don't like social media. You don't like it. So use somebody else that you already have in your formation to do that for you. That's it. Use them as an asset. I can be seen as an asset or a liability, but that depends on the ego of the person who's in charge.
Well, a lot of times, and I tell my kids, hey, sometimes you got to turn your logic up to 10, turn your feelings down to 0, and think it. Because a lot of people, they think with feelings when they should take feelings out of it. And I know I put feelings into a lot of stuff before and made the wrong decision.
Yep.
When if I would have took the feelings out of it, I'd have probably made the right decision.
Exactly. The feelings and the ego will get you every time.
I'm telling you.
Yep.
So this is my last for you. If you can go back in time and get some advice to Private Latoya, no middle name Green, what would it be?
I don't think I would change anything. I mean, I get it, give advice, but if anything changes, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. So I wouldn't give her any advice. I let her go through every struggle, all the trauma, and come right out just like she is right now. I won't give her no advice.
Well,
so where can
okay, go ahead, Ken.
No, I said, where can everybody find you, Toya? Like, plug your social media. We're gonna put it in the description, but still, I want people to know where they can find you.
I'm on TikTok and Instagram as Miss MS _ get right or get left. And I'm on Facebook as Latoya Green. It has the verified check. Because if you look my name up, you're gonna see about 40 or 50 Latoya Greens. They steal my pictures all the time. But those are the 3 platforms that I'm on.
Hey, they see all the people you influence, like, hey, I want some of that too.
And they get money off of it. They could have just told me we could split the money. I don't mind. But they just stealing my pictures and getting money without me.
Hey, you need an NIL deal, name and likeness.
Exactly.
Well, man, this has been amazing. We appreciate you coming on.
Oh, absolutely. It's my pleasure.
It's a blessing. You got anything else, brother?
Yes, Latoya, no middle name Green. I appreciate you for coming on the show. Congratulations on retirement and a successful 20-year career. You've done a great job, and good luck on your future endeavors with your kids. I wish many more blessings onto you. I appreciate you for coming on the show. Thank you.
Thank you, John. I love your shirt.
Appreciate it. You know I support you always.
You my boy, Blue.
All
right, thanks everybody for watching. We're gonna see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Bye.